Awesome. Can everybody stand up? Everybody stand up.
Grab your seats.
I think we all owe each other right now a huge round of applause for being back at 1 o'clock ready to go. Ready to bring your energy. So thank you for that, I appreciate it. So, one thing I love about David Wood is his energy, right? He brings the energy. So our job the rest of the day, from now until the end, is to maintain our energy because we owe that to each other, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, take a seat. I want you to take the next minute or so, talk to the people around you, and really think about a takeaway from this morning. So, what did we talk about? No story, no problem. That was good, right? Gratitude. Just talk amongst yourselves about a big takeaway that you've had this morning. Wow, do I love the chatter in this room. You guys seem to like each other. This is awesome. So I want a couple shout outs, a couple shares, a few words maybe, a takeaway from this morning. Who wants to share it? Right here. Hi.
Not like I didn't have this on my heart after yesterday, but it was reiterated this morning. So just taking 100% responsibility. So I choose 100% responsibility for my life and for my business. So
awesome. Yeah. Great. Over here, someone? You have a share?
Yeah, I learned about just don't blame, complain, or justify.
Oh, that was good. Blame, complain, justify. What if you spent the next 60 days not doing any of those three things?
Yeah.
I'm looking for somebody who had a breakthrough this morning when we talked about no story, no problem. And maybe it was a big breakthrough of something that you've been holding on to for a long time because of the story that you've had or that you've been telling yourself. Who had a big breakthrough that they want to share? Hey, here? Don't stand up. Your name and where you're from.
I'm Tina Marie from Omaha, Nebraska. I have been to lots of different seminars, and I am a very avid reader of self-help and things like that. But I honestly, when I saw that pop up on the screen, I just saw my whole life flashing before me, and I just stood there because I grew up abused, and then I'm in a relationship that's a little toxic, and I didn't realize how much responsibility, how much of where I'm at now is because of my choices. So instead of, spending my whole adult life trying to overcome my childhood, I just need to go back and rewrite the story of what happened in my childhood, and it's done.
Can we just honor her right now for getting up and saying that? I think it's a really important piece. Is there somebody else in the room you need to speak right now? Come over here. Okay. Your name and where you're from?
My name is Virginia Shower. It's easy to remember because I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia originally. I live in Arkansas now. You would never guess it, but I am an actress that is terrified to speak in front of people. Today my breakthrough was that I have a big story that I was telling myself about how I was not a good memorizer. And so yesterday, when I was put to the challenge to memorize, a whole page, within a short amount of time, I was with Lori and we started doing it, and I was actually really good at it. So I decided to go at it, and last night I worked until 1 in the morning memorizing. I got up at 5 this morning and memorized more. And I came in and I saw that, and I just knew that that was my story, and I worked with Rick, and I fell apart again. And so I chickened out and I didn't step out.
Powerful is no story, no problem. Like, so my wife had gone to a UIA before I ever did, and she came home and she explained no story, no problem to me, and I was like, yeah, I think I did it. And then I went to a UIA with her and learned it, and I was like, oh, honey, I get it. She's like, duh, I told you that months ago. But it just has to click, right? And being here in the room lets it click. So, I wanted to tell a quick story before I tell my story. So, we talked about 30-second story a lot yesterday, and early on in my business, I was good at getting people interested and then handing them off to my wife so that she could get them started. And then there came a time where I set up my own call, my own appointment for a call, and I got on that phone call all excited, maybe a little nervous, as you could probably relate to. And I was asking this young woman about herself, and we were having a great conversation, and then I said, would you mind if I shared my story? And I'm like, here it goes. I'm going to launch into my 30-second story. And I told that 30-second story for 30 minutes. And at the end, she was still on the phone. And she enrolled in a presence pack. And that girl became the first personally enrolled executive that we ever had in our business. And I don't tell a story to tell you to do it wrong, but I tell it because everybody has to be a disaster first, right? And I am certainly not a master, but I'm happy to be progressing toward being a master, and I could never have been a disaster if I hadn't started. And you'll never get to the point where you got it down and you know exactly everything you need to know to get going. You get going and then you learn along the way, right? So I think Richard Branson says, you jump and then learn how to fly on the way down. It's kind of what we have to do. My name is Brian Fish, and I'm from Wausau, Wisconsin. Would it be okay if I shared my story?
I'm awake. You got me.
So, before Isogenics, my wife was in corporate America, working a management position in a large insurance company, climbing the corporate ladder. High stress, coming home every night with her work laptop, working all night, going back to work the next day. I was a 10-store restaurant franchise owner with 600 employees. I won't name the name of the franchise that I owned, but we served a lot of happy meals. Which is ironic because I kind of serve happy meals now too, right? It's a different kind of happy. So life was good. We were both doing well. We got pregnant, we were expecting our first child, found out that we were having twins. Woo! This was gonna be exciting. So we had our twins and they were, there were some complications, so they had to be delivered at 29 weeks. And our little baby Lucy weighed 2 pounds. And our little baby Alita weighed 1 pound. And she had a hole in her heart. And life kind of went on pause. So we spent 6 months in a hospital. 6 months. And during that time, we had the luxury to care for those girls. And we got to put lives on pause. And for a long time, we thought that we were given to these girls so that we could take care of them and that we could save them. And as time passed, we realized that they were given to us so that they could save us. What they saved us from was a life of mediocrity, or let's just say a life that was conforming to what we felt a life was supposed to be. And because we had that luxury of hitting the pause button, we got to decide. Because in the pause, we get to decide. And we decided that we wanted to live a life on purpose and a life of purpose. My wife left her corporate job, and I walked away from my business. It was a business that had 600 employees, it did $26 million a year in sales. That doesn't mean that much profit, but that means it was a big operation and something that would have provided well for our family for many years to come. But we saw that there was a different way. And isogenics was brought into our lives just at the right time so that we could see that there was a better way. And that we could see that we could immerse ourselves in a culture of positivity where people were lifting each other up instead of going to negative environments of our job. And more importantly, we got to decide what kind of environment we were going to give our girls to grow up in. And I was sharing with a friend earlier today that I don't have to teach my girls to love themselves or to feel like they are worthy or that they are enough because they're born that way, right? They were born pure, solid gold, just like everybody in this room was. So I just have to make sure that I put them in the environment that I don't let them unlearn that, right? So all of us, some of us, have been covering ourselves, our pure solid gold, with clay. And before we know it, all the clay that we've amassed and put on ourselves has covered all of our gold. Now when we look in the mirror, we see the clay instead of the gold. And then we forgot that we even had gold under there. And when you see the people that light up a room, like David Wood, Tracy O'Malley, you think, man, they've got it. They've got it. How do I get that? And the truth is that you all have it. But maybe it's under the clay. And those people that appear to be pure solid gold, I guarantee you, they went to work at chipping away the clay. And that's really the task that we all have before us. It's to chip away that clay so that our pure solid gold can shine bright. So, yesterday Tracy said that we all have a decision. We're all one decision away from changing our trajectory. And that's really what I would agree with and want to convey to you today, that we all just are one decision away, but it's important to have that pause so that we can make that decision. So many of us are going in our lives that are crazy, non-stop lives, and we never take the pause to give ourselves the chance to make the decision. So that's the message I wanted to bring to you today. Thank you. So I have the pleasure of bringing up Tracy O'Malley to the stage. So how many would agree that Tracy has added some value to this weekend? If we can all just agree that all we have to keep doing every single day is adding value to others, that's the whole ballgame. So I want to bring Tracy back up. Please welcome her to the stage. Get on your feet. Bring back Tracy O'Malley.